Quick things about that. One, I've talked about this before. Of course, you all remember Peter King has been doing these Muslim hearings. Totally agreed on the hissing on that. He just did one recently again. And, it goes to the heart of what does it mean to be an American? You know what percentage American I am? Exactly. I am 100% American. So, you know what that means? That means I chose this country. That means I believe in this country so much, I said, I want to be a citizen of that country. Not, I was born here and it was an accident, etc. I love this place, that's why I came here, that's why I became a citizen. So, if Peter King made the mistake of inviting me to his hearings about Muslim Americans, given that I am of a Muslim background, although I'm agnostic now, I would have said in the immortal words of George Galloway, I don't come as the accused, I come as the accuser. You know who's not American? Someone who doesn't understand that we don't do religious tests in this country. That's in the Constitution if they ever bothered to read it. And of course, Peter King is a despicable demagogue, and by the way, also a supporter of terrorists. He's a well-known supporter of the IRA. A judge once threw him out of his courtroom saying he's a well-known collaborator of terrorists. So it is the most ironic hearings you'll ever hear. But about the Turkish immigrant experience, I want to tell you a quick story about that too. It's about a really great kid. He grew up in a southeastern village in Turkey. It's near the Syrian border, and it was old school, right? They didn't have any electricity in his house. His dad died when he was 3 months old. They were deeply in debt, the family was, because they tried to, of course, do operations, etc. on the dad, and it didn't work, but they still had the bills. And since he didn't have any electricity, this sounds like a cliche, but it's literally true, they would have to wake up in the middle of the night, have no idea, they'd have to go and do farming, okay? And he had to study under a light in the street, because that's the only land he had. Somehow that kid believed that if he worked hard enough, that he could make it out, and that he wouldn't have to farm the land for the rest of his life, and that one day he would have a family, and even back then, even as a kid, he thought, I'll bring my family to America and give them an opportunity to do anything that they could imagine. And he wound up applying for college in Turkey, and they said to him, well, you're crazy. That only the smartest kids with the best education, the rich kids, they're the ones who get into those colleges. They get all the training, etc. You're sitting under a freaking lamp in the street. You're not going to make it. Well, for some reason, that kid believed. He really believed he was going to make it. And lo and behold, he took the test and he passed. And then later, he went to graduate school in America. And later, he brought his family to America, and his son would wind up going to New York Business School and Columbia Law School, and would wind up having a national television show. That person was my dad. One day, your son will be interviewing with presidents and challenging congressmen and senators from the United States of America and asking them, are you doing your job? Are you standing up for the people? And everybody would have laughed and said, oh, you're crazy. But that's the kind of courage it takes. That's the kind of hard work it takes to make it. And immigrants know that. Immigrants know how hard it is and how hard they had to work to get here. One last thing. What was the magic bullet that allowed my dad to make it? A free education. If he didn't get a free education, none of this would have been possible. Right now, I would literally be picking olives in southeastern Turkey if my dad did not get a free education. All we're asking for is that same fair chance for all of us and all of our kids. So, I want to bring up the great people who Nagashi and Jerry Mannion. They are going to present the Freedom from Fear Awards. They are great people. We're going to talk about some really courageous folks in this country.